Так. The Consul. По-моему, консул переводится. Так, это, короче, я так понял, просто не целая игра, а типа первая глава или что-то такое. Так, подтвердить. Так, звук и субтитры. Субтитры включены, хорошо. Управление. А тут вообще так вот, да? Ладно, части. Выберите задание. Но у меня вот будет только пролог. Я так понял. Да. Ну, в общем, ладно, погнали. Что, чего, как. Франция. Париж. 10 декабря 1792 год. Прекратите! Вы ничего не добьетесь. Знаете, у меня только такое, точно такое же чувство. Прислушайтесь. Ничего, тишина. Никто не рвется вас спасать. Думаете, что хотите? Золотой орден знает, где мы. Когда ваше ничтожное тайное общество окажется здесь, я буду далеко. А от вас мокрого места не останется. Только троньте мою мать, и я вас убью нахуй, короче. Вы что, Луи? Я не собирался трогать вашу любимую матушку. У меня есть более действенный способ разговорить вас. Чё, блядь? Вы украли у меня то, что мне очень нужно. Страшные какие все здесь. Где вы ее спрятали? Вы можете продать эту книгу на черном рынке. Все кончено. Вы не сможете продать его. Мы в курсе, что вы собираетесь продать ее одному из гостей лорда. Просто назовите покупателей. Вы понятия не имеете, во что ввязались. Я все равно узнаю, где ее спрятали. Что дераться-то так? Перестань хамить. Сынок, вот тот случай в Риме тебя ничему не научил. Буквально пара минут, и смесь будет готова. Она растворяет плоть меньше, чем за 4 часа. Вот увидите, вы сразу же выложите все. Должен признать, матушка, единственное, что я от вас перенял, это ваш чертов девиз. Всегда будь рассудительным и открытым. Готово. Я открыл наручники. Примани его сюда, я с ним разберусь. Послушайте, давайте договоримся. Я скажу, где книга, а вы отпустите мою мать. Что за глупости? Не волнуйтесь, матушка. Герой себе строишь. Жаль, но ты не в этом положении. Спрашиваю последний раз. Где спрятан Аль-Азиф? Действовать самому? Или довериться... Давай доверимся матушке. Ваш выход. Приз получен, маменькин сынок. И что дальше делать? На нахуй. Чё, нормально? Молодец, все очень вовремя. Как вы, матушка? Лучше не бывает. Он жив, значит, я могу допросить его по возвращению.
Pity he's just a middleman.
Жаль, что он всего лишь пешка. Придется искать дальше. Дается мне, скоро вы снова помчитесь навстречу. Знаете что? В этот раз я точно. Я не могу дочитывать, они слишком быстро говорят. Вы уже не молоды. Идем, пора домой. И не забудь сказать нашим, чтобы забрали этого, короче, фон какого-то там. Хоть бы ножик, блядь, убрали бы от руки, от егошней. Ну. Из журнала вы можете узнать, к чему. Чего не дают прочитать-то даже. Спустя месяц, 20 января 1793 года. Я что-то там могу из журнала узнать, если что. Остров лорда Мортимера, недалеко от берегов Англии. Focus Home Interactive и Цианид представляют. Игру от Big Bad Wolf. Большой плохой волк. Отлично, матушка. Решили пойти по следу фон Боргхерта. Бросили меня безо всяких объяснений в Париже и молча отправились на это всемирно известное собрание лорда. А теперь он мне пишет, что вы пропали без следа. Который, к слову, больше похож на каменную глыбу, чем на райский уголок. The Consul, эпизод 1. The Mad Ones. Хуй знает, как переводится. Once одни. Нет? Да, ну, наверное. Он даже не удостоился объяснить. Пора завязывать, матушка. Годы уже не те. Я отыщу вас. Как всегда, где-нибудь в пещерах. Где хранится какой-нибудь древний артефакт.
I'm already hating this trip, and all I've done is think about it.
Well now, Duchess.
Что
ourselves both invited by Sir Hall.
Well, how very amusing. Perhaps we have some common interests, Your Eminence. The first time at one of Lord Mortimer's legendary parties?
Oh no, we have been friends since long ago. But as I'm doing some business with Sir Hall, the invitation came from him.
Well, I simply can't wait for all the festivities to begin.
And you, good sir, what brings you here?
По какому делу? Личные обстоятельства.
With all due respect, I prefer to keep my reasons for coming here to myself.
Да, я буду загадочен.
I promise, it has nothing to do with the legendary party that you all appear to be preparing for.
I believe what you will, my son. However, everything is related to the legendary parties organized by our host.
Yeah, I'll be the judge of that, Cardinal.
Anyway, consider yourself fortunate, young man, because there are many who dream of simply one day setting foot on this island, and only a very few ever make it. Indeed, I imagine this must be your first time here.
And you, Duchess? You seem to be quite accustomed to things here. Am I right?
I do not think that one can ever get accustomed to what Lord Mortimer prepares for his guests. But you are right. This is not the first time I've been on this wharf.
If you've come back again, I imagine you must find it to be of some interest.
Here, everything is possible if you make the right choices. It really is up to you whether you leave better off or not.
Please excuse me if you find me overly curious, young man. I did not mean to cause you any embarrassment. Come, Duchess. They are waiting for us.
We're moving, Monsieur de Richet, if you would like to join us.
I'm coming, Duchess. A cardinal? A duchess? I wonder if all the guests here are this prestigious.
Кардинал,
If I'd
герцогиня,
known,
блядь.
I would have gone for a better suit.
Чё такое, блядь? Башка
Are
заболела.
you all right?
Ты в порядке? То есть... Что такое? Еба.
Mother?
Матушка.
Oh shit.
Вот черт, ваша рука. Чё за глюки, блядь?
So,
Итак.
Okay, it's done.
did you
готово.
put it in a safe place?
Yes.
Место
I made
достаточно
sure no one
надежное.
was following me.
Да.
Don't worry, Sarah. No one's going to
Не
find it.
переживайте. Никто ничего не
Are
найдет.
you absolutely sure?
Уверена?
Yes, I'm
Будет.
sure.
Right. Just one thing left to do.
Осталось еще кое-что.
Don't!
Нет, не надо.
What?
Что?
Have you lost your mind?
Вы в своем уме?
There's no other way.
If
Нет
you
выбора.
kill me, you won't
Если вы
find
убьете
it.
меня, то вы
That
ничего
is
не
the
найдете.
point, my dear. No one must ever put their hands on it
что?
again.
No. But
Я
I
же вам
trusted
доверял.
you.
No, Sarah. Don't.
Нет, не надо.
No!
Какие тут все страшные.
If you want to, Sarah, but you will pay.
Что за видение?
Louis, are you all right? What's going on?
Вы в порядке? Что с вами?
Here, take this.
Они как пластилиновые какие-то.
Sorry.
Keep it. Are you better?
I'm fine. Don't worry.
Да, не беспокойтесь.
It's getting late. Why don't you go
Уже
on ahead
поздно,
and...
может, пока
I'll
вы
catch up
пойдете,
with you,
я
okay?
вас
Are you
догоню.
sure?
Yes!
Уверены?
I'm
Да, прошу
sorry.
прощения, да.
I'm sure, yes.
Fine.
Хорошо, хорошо.
I definitely have to find Mother quickly.
Мне надо срочно найти матушку, блядь.
Am I going crazy or what?
Так.
This can't be real. The Duchess arrived with me. What's happening to me, for God's sake? I absolutely need to find you, Mother.
Вот этот, как его, детективный квест, я так понял. Я про эту игру, так, стоп, слышал, но,
A Greek drachma.
так,
One of the rare ancient coins to be
Коллекционные
mentioned
монеты.
both in the Bible and in the Quran.
Так. О, что тут? Письма. Ну, они не берутся. Письма и письма, что такого. Так, что здесь еще у нас есть? Ну ничего, больше нет такого. Ладно, идем дальше.
Louis, during the trip, I had something I wanted to ask you, but we didn't happen to run into each other.
Yes,
Хотела вас
Duchess?
спросить.
I'm not
Да.
sure if you remember, but we've met before.
Но мы уже
At that
встречались.
time, you were of two minds as to your
Как
choice
раз
of career.
вы
Tell me, what
выбирали
have you
себе
been up to
профессию.
since?
Скажите, кем вы все-таки решили стать? Так, значит, дипломат. Душа любой компании. Он очень красноречив, тактичен и убедителен в разговорах с собеседниками. Отлично разбирается в политике. Оккультист. Мастер обмана. Он посвятил всю свою жизнь науке и искусству. Готов идти по головам, не испытывая угрызений совести. Ёб твою мать. Извиняюсь. И детектив. Эксперт в расследованиях. Он замечает мельчайшие детали в окружающей обстановке и поведении собеседников. На пути к цели действует решительно и прямолинейно. Так, детектив я выберу. 3 очко навыков. Значит. Прибегайте к критическому мышлению и красноречию. Вот так вот. Вот так вот. И вот так вот. Туда, сюда и сюда. Ну да. Пускай будет так.
Well, over the last few years, I've solved a number of crime
Приз
cases.
получен
Like
начинающий
the chauffeur
детектив.
d'Alger, for example.
К примеру.
Thieves that torture their
чё-
victims with burning embers.
Charming. How did you catch them?
I told the most cowardly one that the others had given him up.
Ah, and I wager your thief suddenly started to talk.
You wouldn't believe it. He told us everything. The jobs, the stashes, the names of his partners. Couldn't shut him up.
I heard about that case, but I didn't know you were the one who solved it.
I'm flattered that the news made it across the channel. And you've got a darn good memory, Duchess.
Well, they say I have the memory of two people. But please call me Emily.
Fine, Emily. Tell me, I was actually helped on that case by my mother. You wouldn't know her by any chance?
Wait, Louis. We've already met. You do remember me, don't you?
Так, мы уже встречались, вы должны меня помнить. Нет, честно сказать, что нет.
Please excuse me, madam. I'm sure we've met before, but I don't remember where.
I appreciate your honesty, even if it's not very flattering for me.
I imagine that with your beauty, madam, it's the first time a man hasn't remembered your face.
Well, I must say, you make
Ах,
up
ты
for
какой
yourself rather
хитрец,
elegantly.
блядь.
Please stop torturing me. I'm completely at your mercy. Where have we met?
4 years ago, in London,
No. Sorry, I don't remember.
in the office of William Pitt. Remember? No?
I'm so sorry, Emily, but I really don't remember you.
Let's drop it, Louis. It doesn't matter. Right, time to go to the manor.
Так, возможности. Применяйте навыки, чтобы обнаруживать скрытые детали. Выбирайте наиболее подходящий к ситуации элемент окружения. Использование возможностей не требует очков действия. Для применения необходимого навыка достаточно, чтобы он был получен.
I ask her a question, she answers with another. Is she
Она
playing
отвечает
with me?
вопросом на вопрос. Это такая игра. Так, личность. Каждый человек, с которым вы знакомитесь на острове, обладает своим характером. К одним навыкам он может проявлять устойчивость, к другим слабость. Пользуйтесь его сильными и слабыми сторонами. Столкнувшись с устойчивостью, вы потерпите неудачу и почувствуете измождение. А воспользовавшись слабостью, вернете одно потраченное очко действия. Чтобы узнать, к чему ваши собеседники проявляют устойчивость или слабость, откройте в меню вкладку «Журнал». Так.
Emily, please excuse my insisting, but you still haven't answered about my mother. Do you know her?
Устойчивость, логика.
You'll see, Louis. Everybody here knows Sarah de Richet.
I don't know where we're going like this, Emily, but you're connected to my mother one way or another. And if I can believe my vision, you don't have much of a place in her heart.
Так, звание. При выполнении определенных действий вы будете получать новое звание. Узнать, как разблокировать звания и какие преимущества они дают, можно на соответствующей вкладке. Чтобы ознакомиться со своими званиями, откройте в меню соответствующую вкладку. Звания. Детектив, прямец, доверчивый, какого хуя? Вы доверились матери. Это когда я выбрал в самом начале, да? Понятно. Так, ладно. Устойчивость, логика. Ладно.
Must be an incredible view from up there. Impossible to set foot on the island without being seen from 300 meters away.
Так, я знаю, что там. А тут хотел посмотреть, что это. Горшочек меда. Чё, блядь? Мед восстанавливает 2 очка действия. Можно хранить не более 5 горшочков. Серьезно. Ладно.
Honey, the remedy of the gods.
Предметы. Так, подожди. Мед. Охуеть. Горшочек меда. Винни-Пух, что ли, блядь? Горшочек-то меда. Ладно, идем.
Good evening, sir. May I ask your name, please?
Louis Moras de Richer.
Louis
Monsieur
Moras
de
de
Richer.
Richer.
Delighted to welcome you among us, sir. You must be Sarah de Richer's son. I must tell you we are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible.
Так. Так, ладно.
I have an
вот это
appointment with Lord Mortimer. Would you be so kind as to lead me to him?
Unfortunately, sir, I cannot. I don't know exactly where my master is. But rest assured, sir, everyone is waiting for you at the manor. Sir Holm insists on welcoming you in person. Since your mother went missing, everyone has been concerned about finding her.
Who is Sir Holm?
A close friend of Lord Mortimer's. Please, rest assured, sir, it won't take us long to find your revered mother. Indeed, we are searching the quays again, because lights were seen at the wharf just last night.
Where we are now?
Indeed, sir. According to our information, lights were seen in the middle of the night, sir. After verification, none of the guests seem to have left the manor last night. We think that perhaps Sir's mother was here.
Так, навыки позволяют давать особые ответы и совершать разные поступки. Чтобы применить навык, необходимы очки действия. Чем выше уровень вашего навыка, тем ниже стоимость его применения. Ну, это понятно. Чтобы ознакомиться тут. Откройте меню соответствующую вкладку. Понятно. Так, мы полагаем, что это могла быть ваша мать.
And did you find anything then?
We discovered a certain amount of damage, sir, on the wooden part of the wharf.
What type of damage?
Broken barrels, mainly. We'll do whatever is necessary to have them rapidly repaired. But quite frankly, I can't imagine what Sir's mother would have been doing with them.
What could Mother have been doing with barrels?
Nevertheless, our search of the wharf hasn't been entirely unsuccessful, though.
What do you mean?
We seem to have found an object that would appear to belong to Sir's mother. A handkerchief. The handkerchief is embroidered with the initials SDR. We came to the conclusion that they are the initials of Sir's mother, Sarah de Richer. I have orders to give it to Lord Mortimer as soon as I see him.
I know my mother. She's not the kind to go for a midnight stroll on the wharf for nothing. I've got to find out what the hell she was doing here.
Where exactly did you find the handkerchief?
On the landing dock, sir. The one you arrived by.
Так. Вот это что ли? Выбрать или что? Или вот это вот? А, хуй с ним, давай.
Give me the handkerchief. I'll personally show it to Lord Mortimer.
Well,
I've traveled hard for several days in order to get here.
Yes, but...
Invited by your master.
No, of course, but...
Because my mother went missing right under your nose.
Sir, please.
And having only just arrived, you refused to give me her personal belongings?
Of course not, sir. It was never my intention to contradict, sir. Here you are. I must return now. There is still much to prepare in order to welcome all the guests.
It is indeed your handkerchief, Mother. You must have come here for a specific reason. I need to know what it is. Let's think. What could she have been doing out here on this wharf?
Так, новый персонаж. Слуга открыт, да? Слабость логика, слабость допрос. А тут устойчивость логика. Тут ничего нету. Ебать, какие все тут страшные, какие все люди тут страшные, пиздец. Ладно.
There's no way I'm leaving without finding out about Mother.
Да. Надо обследовать здесь все. Вот тут еще вон что есть.
Wooden floorboard.
Деревянная доска.
Judging by the splinters of the wood, this floorboard has been ripped up. It was in decent condition. I wonder why someone ripped it up. What's the point of doing this? Probably comes from this part of the wharf. The wood is slightly eaten away, of course, but it still would have been fine if it weren't smashed.
Закрыто.
Locked. I'll never get it open bare-handed.
Так. Это что блестит здесь? А, это просто блестит, как оно. Фигня. Ой, еще что-то. А это доска, да? А, мед, хорошо, мед. Блин, так темно. Отсвечивает. Свет в комнате убрать. О! О, нашел еще что-то. Так, ладно. Так, что это?
Looks like a bar from an old gate. This miserable old bar has been broken fairly recently. The edges are still clean, and the tip is blackened. Without analysis to the contrary, I put my money on cannon powder. This might just come in handy.
Конечно, пригодится, блядь.
A sack of seeds. It's unopened. No one seems to have used any. Great. Honey.
Еще мед. Господи, сколько здесь меда-то, блядь.
Some rope. Apparently no one's touched it for a good long time.
Ну что такое? Что со звуком было только что? Так, письма.
Let's see what's hidden inside.
Так.
Let's look. It's too badly written, I can't make out the address. A letter written in an Oriental language. I haven't the slightest idea what it says. The addressee's in Sao Paulo, Brazil. That reminds me, it's about time the order sent some envoys there. The address is 50 Bedford Square, London. Probably a Dutchman. This envelope is meant for the Vatican. This name sounds familiar. Pashi.
На, было это.
No. Can't seem to place it.
Выбрать.
An address in Cairo, Egypt. Mortimer communicates with the whole world, apparently. Nope. Doesn't ring a bell. One of the letters is stamped with the seal of the order. And I recognize your handwriting anywhere, Mother. But who is this Samuel Ritter d'Auchois? Who are you writing to? I don't recognize the name. Let's see what's inside this letter. So...
Dear Samuel, my stay on Lord Mortimer's island is going wonderfully well. As I find myself in such charming company, I plan to stay a few more weeks. Would you be so kind as to send me a gift that I'd like to give to our old friend? I would be most grateful. I have been told that he's going to join us here soon. I would like to mark the occasion. Thank you in advance. Yours devotedly, Sarah Faustine de Richet.
What is your game here, Mother? Secrets, always more secrets. You never talk to anyone using language like this. Something's going on here. Who is this Samuel Ritter? And for crying out loud, who's this Manuel Godoy that you keep bringing up? Think. Godoy. Manuel Godoy. Why does the name sound so familiar?
Ugh.
I'm guessing he's a man of some importance. Spanish, I'd say. But just can't put a face to him. Well, hope we meet to talk about it soon, Mother. I don't know what you've gotten yourself into this time, but I'll bet you've got a lot to tell me.
Так, хорошо. Здесь я уже полазил. Что еще здесь у нас есть? А, тут я смотрел, тут нет ничего. Ничего не появилось. Ну да.
See what's hidden inside.
Это я посмотрел. Ну, вроде все. Ничего не пропустил. Тихо ты, не упади в воду-то хоть. Вот здесь что-то еще.
Looks like the barrel's been broken for quite some time.
А может быть... О, так, это что?
This chest might belong to Duchess Hillsborough.
Ладно. А если открыть этим железным прутом... О, что это такое? Сначала-то я не заметил, видимо.
There's something not right about this floorboard. It's different from the rest.
Во, прутом, да.
That does it. Let's see what's hidden inside. There's a book and also a bag.
Книга и сумка.
The Mysterium Cosmographicum. I know that book well. Mother used to read passages from it to me all the time.
And judging from what I can see, it's the same one as hers. For crying out loud, what's happened to you, Mother?
Манускрипты. По мере прохождения вы будете черпать знания из литературных трудов. Перед началом каждого задания вы сможете выбрать манускрипт и получать очки навыков. Чтобы ознакомиться с доступными вам манускриптами, откройте меню вкладку «Предметы».
Let's look inside the bag. A little food, a few toiletries, a small key, and some kind of black powder. Some fruit, a piece of bacon, and some bread. The fruit's still firm. And the bread's a bit stale. From the smell, this food's been here roughly 2 days, and if it's rationed, there's enough left to last 2 more days. Shit, those are definitely my mother's things. I recognize her hairpins. This bag smells of her perfume. A piece of soap, some oils, and her powder puff. What does all this mean? The bottom of the bag is covered in black powder. An iron key completely rusted. You never know. It might be useful. I hope Mother wasn't counting on it. Right. Just in case, I'll take it all. I'll give it back to Mother when I see her.
Правильно, все возьми.
Crying out loud. Why did you hide supplies in the middle of nowhere, Mother? I don't know what's going on here, but you obviously feel like you're in danger.
А вот сейчас, может быть, я и открою как раз ключом. О, открылась. Заебись. Так, дальше смотрим, что тут у нас. Так.
This looks like a pistol case, but it's empty.
Ящик для пистолета пустой.
To do with you, Mother, but if it does, at least now you're armed. Just like in my vision. And none of it's telling me anything useful. This wharf is used as storage for a lot of barrels. Uh-huh. What have we here? It's cannon powder. It's unusable now. I don't know what the person who left this barrel like this had in mind, but it's a waste. So, let's go through this. My mother's been hiding pieces of bread between the rotten boards of
Так,
the wharf.
матушка всю ночь идет на печал и прячет
That's
хлеб.
not normal.
Подозрительно. Мало того, похоже, она вооружена.
Meanwhile,
Прячет
she also takes the
сумку.
time to
При
send out
этом она
letters,
умудряется слать
reassuring
письма.
whoever might be interested that she's having a fabulous time here. So
Говорит,
odd.
как ей здесь нравится.
So very odd. And that's not even all I've noticed. But maybe I ought to move on to the manor now. They'll be waiting for me.
Пойду в
At least I
особняк,
hope
меня
so.
уже ждут. Ну, надеюсь. Что это было тут? Во, я что-то нашел. Осколки янтаря. Вы выносите осколок янтаря. За каждые 4 осколка вы будете получать одно дополнительное очко действия. Спасибо.
Amber.
Амбер. Так, ну тут вроде все. Да. Ну, чё мог, все нашел. Ведь эта вода так же блестит, как эти улики.
How did Mortimer manage to build his manor at the top of a rocky outcrop?
Как удалось? Вот так и удалось построить. Выполняйте условия, описанные на старт. Блять. Что не даете мне прочитать? Какая быстрая загрузка.
Impressive.
Впечатляет.
I was looking for you.
Я вас искал.
What can I do for you, Your Eminence?
Чем могу
I
помочь?
wanted to ask you.
Я
You
хотел
are the son of Sara the
уточнить.
Rich.
Вы ведь сын Сары.
You see, your mother and I were supposed to meet here on this very spot. I was supposed to hand her a very important envelope, but I haven't seen her.
If only Mother had told me why she was coming here. Anyway, I ought to take the envelope. It might have something to do with her disappearance. Listen, if it will help, you can always give it to me.
Так, противостояние. В ходе разговора вам необходимо преодолеть несколько этапов и завоевать доверие собеседника. Исход противостояния оказывает непосредственное влияние на развитие сюжета. Поэтому не забывайте пользоваться навыками. Во время противостояния на экране будут отображаться символы, которые подскажут, насколько вы были убедительны.
Thank you, my son. I'll bear that in mind. I'd rather deal with her directly. Don't take it personally. Would you happen to know if your mother has arrived yet?
Certainly, Your Eminence. Mother got here some time ago. I was hoping to find her when I arrived, but given the hour, she must be asleep by now.
Right. I shall see her tomorrow, then.
By the way, Your Eminence, I wasn't aware you knew my mother.
Ah, if you only knew, my son. I hold your mother in the highest regard. She has rendered great service to the church, and her help is invaluable. I hope that you will follow in her footsteps.
If only she had told me where she was headed.
Nonetheless, our exchanges have always been discreet, and I should like them to remain as such. If your mother wishes to speak to you about us one day, I will not mind if she does so.
That is very commendable. But since we work together on a daily basis, it's surely just an oversight.
Most certainly. You said you work together. What do you do exactly?
Чем я занимаюсь? Сука, что сказать? Доступно, недоступно. Время хоть нигде не идет. Бля. Что сказать? Что сказать?
My mother and I belong to the same secret organization, the Golden Order, which I joined a few years ago. Mother trained me, and I assist in her research. In other words, you can trust me.
My child, you are telling a perfect stranger that you and your mother work for a secret society. It would seem that discretion is not one. You will understand that it does not encourage me to my thoughts.
Сука.
All the same, it bothers me to see you in a corner.
Блять, а можно?
Your Eminence.
Нельзя.
Is there any other solution? Look, if it's of any help, you can always leave your envelope with me, and I'll give it to her as soon as I see her.
I hesitate. Up till now, we have always dealt with her in person, and that has always been successful. Do you think I should give it to you?
Only you know that, Your Eminence. If you're asking me if you can trust me, or if I can keep a secret, I would answer yes, absolutely.
I understand.
In truth, it all depends on the nature of the contents of your letter.
It is a list of names.
This list must be of extreme importance.
If only you knew. It's a list of people that your mother must help. Listen to me, my child. If I give you the letter, can you promise me before God that no one other than your mother will read it?
Так, последний этап на последнем этапе вы должны убедить своего собеседника, выбрав нужную реплику. Если вы дадите неправильный ответ, этот этап будет повторяться до тех пор, пока вы не сделаете верный выбор или не совершите максимально допустимое количество ошибок. Если противостояние окажется неудачным, последний этап повторится. Так.
So it's not through a lack of goodwill, but I'd rather swear by something else.
I beg your pardon?
I mean, to be honest with you, and for my promise to keep all its value, I assure you, it would be better if I didn't swear before God. I shall swear upon my mother's life, if you prefer.
Are you aware, in Normandy,
Бля.
I shall swear upon my mother's life, if you prefer.
Are you aware, in Normandy,
Да, бля.
you just said to me, young man?
Я все проебал.
Listen, it is nothing against you, but I prefer to keep this envelope. I'll wait until I run into your mother. It isn't as urgent as that, really. So, let's join the others.
Я все проебал.
Man, if I'd answered differently, I'm sure I could have got my hands on that letter. Too bad.
Хуёвый из меня детектив, блядь.
Lord Mortimer certainly has a taste for staging rooms. Lives of the Noble Greeks and Romans by Plutarch, a biography of the great men.
Хуяк такой спиздил, блядь. Книгу. Так, что здесь еще есть у нас? Так. Банка якорцев. Повышает эмпатию. Ух ты, блядь, что я нашел? монета.
Maybe I should introduce myself to the other guests first.
Да. Сейчас я здесь все обыщу сначала.
Blind Oedipus. Blinded himself. What a tragic destiny.
Блять, как я так проебал там? Там же, блять, ну, все просто было. Ёб твою мать. Ну ладно, хуй с ним.
I thought my chimney was big, but this one is beyond belief.
It's the least one can say. I've been longing for a warm fire for ages.
Since I set foot on the island, I haven't ventured more than 2 yards away from it.
Have you also just arrived?
Oh, late morning, I'd say.
Louis, come join us. Monsieur, may I introduce you to Monseigneur His Eminence, Cardinal Piaggi. He joins us straight from Rome.
Oh, just call me Your Eminence. It's simpler.
George Washington, President of the United States of America.
Delighted at last to make your acquaintance, Mr. President.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. President. Louis Moras de Richet. It is an honor to meet you.
Young man, let's keep it simple, please. Let us forget our fancy titles. Nice to meet you, Louis.
I should imagine you never thought you'd be in such company.
I must admit that I didn't. It's the first time that I've ever met so many illustrious personalities.
And you haven't seen anything yet. Generally, when Lord Mortimer organizes one of his receptions, there are over a dozen people here.
They can't all be here yet, and you'll see, most of the time there's only the upper crust.
And I noticed you were already getting to know His Eminence at the entrance. It's the perfect place to build up a network. What were you talking about, if you'll forgive my indiscretion?
At the risk of disappointing you, we weren't conspiring in our corner, sir. His Eminence was simply telling me that he knew my mother and how much he held her in high esteem.
It so happens that Monsieur de Richet's mother is to join us.
Oh, pity. No scrumptious gossip or juicy tidbits, unmentionable secrets, or even money matters. But you'll see, it will come. Despite all the goodwill in the world, you can't stop people scheming left and right around here.
Speak for yourself, sir.
Well, my friends, do any of you know the reason why we're here this time?
Not in the slightest. As for me, I've been invited by Sir Holm, a close friend of Lord Mortimer, but I do not know the reason why.
You see, Louis, every time Lord Mortimer organizes a reception, he always finds a moment to set up a chat with all the guests.
During which time we remake the world.
Accompanied by gallons of absinthe and cussing. I'll leave you to imagine the result.
So, if I understand rightly, Monsieur de Richet, you've come out here to join your mother. For what reason, exactly?
Like you, Mr. President, I'm here as a result of Lord Mortimer's invitation.
2 members of the same family here. That is rare.
You know what they say. You can pick your nose, but you can't pick your family.
Seriously, though, I know your mother well. Stay behind with me afterwards, and we'll take a moment to speak about her.
Good Lord. Washington is wearing the emblem of the Grand Master of the Golden Order. It's the highest distinction of the Order in the United States. It puts him on par with my mother. He must really know his stuff when it comes to the occult.
Good evening, my friends.
Holy shit. That's the man for my vision.
An urgent case has
Ебать,
delayed
он
our host,
страшный.
Lord Mortimer. He can't be present this evening, and he sends his deepest apologies.
He's asked me here and he hasn't even turned up? Great start. Do you know that man?
Sir Gregory Holm, an English aristocrat. Very influential. He's also close to Lord Mortimer. so don't be surprised if he acts like he's at home.
And now, my dear guests, a light meal is served in the small salon. For those who would like to, you're invited to follow me into the next room.
My dear fellow, you must have read my thoughts. I shall follow.
We'll have to be careful not to make too much noise. One of Lord Mortimer's guests is relaxing.
Oh, we shall be quiet.
Don't take it the wrong way, Sir Holm, but I've already eaten. Thus, I shall be happy to remain by the fireside.
If you don't mind, Gregory, I should like to keep Mr. Washington company.
Please feel at home. And you, sir?
If I stay with Washington, we'll be able to speak about my mother. But on the other hand, I'd like to learn more about this home. I saw him in my vision.
Так. С
See
Вашингтоном я
what
останусь.
Washington has to say.
Sir, if you don't mind, I shall stay here.
Do exactly as you please, young man.
Louis, thank you for staying. Just like you, when I arrived this morning, I found out that Sarah had gone missing. I know your mother well. Don't worry. Emily is from the English branch of the Golden Order.
And President Washington is in fact the leader of the Order in the United States.
I didn't know.
Sorry to have made you wait, but I didn't want to speak in front of the others.
You did well. Secrecy and discretion are the pillars of our organization.
If I can help in any way at all, please don't hesitate to ask, my lad. And if you have any other questions, now's the time.
Так.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
Lord Mortimer is a remarkable man. He's wealthy and is advisor to the very highly placed. Your mother is the head of the Order in France. It doesn't surprise me that he asked her to come.
Lord Mortimer greatly contributed to financing my electoral campaign, for example. But I want this to be clear, without ever seeking to gain an advantage.
And that is to his credit.
Yes, you can trust him. He will do everything in his power to help you find Sarah.
Mr. Washington, you seem to be very familiar with my mother.
When did you last speak to her?
Philadelphia, 15 years ago. Sarah often went back and forth between France and the United States.
Yes, I remember those days. I didn't see her too often. Right. Would it be too much if I asked you a few more questions?
Not at all. Go ahead. But I can't promise I'll remember everything.
May I ask, when you saw each other, what did you talk about?
My mother has always been fascinated by strange powers. Did she talk to you about anything like that?
Yes. Her facility for discerning truths from rumor served me well. Such as preventing massacres, like the one at Salem, from happening again. Or convincing people that horsemen cannot ride around without heads. What was it that she used to say now?
Keep an open and logical mind?
Yes, that's it.
Thank you, sir. I was hoping to speak with Lord Mortimer. At least now I have some information, thanks to you.
I repeat, Lord Mortimer is a man of his word. You won't be disappointed. And I am persuaded that your mother's research is his main concern.
Mother still is at the head of the Golden Order. I find it difficult to believe that she came to this island without notifying the other members.
As for myself, I did not know. I am here at the request of Sir Holm, a situation regarding the Crown of England to resolve, and to see what Lord Mortimer has to propose to us.
As for me, Lord Mortimer asked me here to speak about the future of America. I did not know that your mother would even be among us. In any case, no one has yet mentioned associating the Order.
We haven't found many clues yet. But I did find a book that belongs to my mother.
Where did you find it?
That's what worries me. I found it hidden on the wharf.
Do you think she was preparing to discreetly leave?
I don't know.
An extremely likely proposition.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Don't worry, Louis. I'm sure nothing bad has happened to her.
Yes, I hope not.
Careful, they're coming back.
Так. Это кто, блядь, такой?
Well, I am impressed with all this splendor.
But don't spend too much time with Mr. Washington, my dear, or you'll lose your pretty accent. You seem to be intrigued by that statue.
Absolutely. It is remarkable.
Lord Mortimer is fond of atypical works of art. I won't disguise the fact that I find it all a little megalomaniacal. But I must say, he does have some outstanding pieces.
Sir Holmes, who was that young lady with you?
Elizabeth Adams, Mr. President. She would have liked to have stayed with us, but the poor thing is exhausted.
Elizabeth Adams?
Just mentioning Elizabeth totally changed Washington's attitude. Looks like he just saw a ghost.
Miss Adams is here to rest. You have perhaps already come across her in the corridors. She arrived a few days ago.
I perceived her, but we weren't introduced.
Rest assured, she is not here for the same reasons as yourselves. Consequently, I'm counting on your indulgence.
Да, блядь.
On that note, it's very late. You must be exhausted. The servant will accompany you to your room.
Не успел.
Ladies, gentlemen, I bid you all good night. Mr. President, Your Eminence, Duchess, you have the same rooms as usual. You, Monsieur de Richet, will find your room at the end of the corridor.
Well, my friends, I am bone tired. I am off to my bed. See you in the morning.
Good night, sir. I shall do likewise.
Louis, I shall see you in the morning. Sleep well.
Good night. See you tomorrow. Oh man, it's been quite a day. Right. Where is my
Где
room?
моя комната? По коридору направо, она сказала? Или по коридору налево, блядь?
Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
Так. Ничего здесь нету. Ну-ка, если я туда вон схожу.
Monsieur Napoléon Bonaparte.
Наполеон Бонапарт.
Monsieur Jacques Perreux.
Жак Перрю. Вот это для чего? Пускай будет так, ладно.
Decorum guide.
Правила хорошего тона. Так, ладно. Так, я кругаля дал, да? Получается. Отправляйтесь, говорит, в свою комнату. А где она, блядь, моя комната-то? Сказали бы хоть что ли. По коридору, говорит, направо. Вот это, наверное. А, нет. Не это. Не сюда. А куда, блядь, тогда, нахуй? Меня оставили вот здесь вот. Вот, сюда. Нет.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Это, наверное. Да. Что здесь написано?
Huh, that's me.
Моя комната. Так, ладно. Тут что еще написано было?
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
Кардинал. Не люблю кардиналов, блядь. Так, это что?
Honey, the remedy of the gods.
Так, мед, это хорошо.
President George Washington.
Джордж Вашингтон. Так, тут ничего больше не лежит. Бануться тут какой замок, блядь. Ёбнуться можно. Ну все, я все обошел. Да. Что-то я по кругу, блядь, что ли, прошелся или что, я не могу понять. Твою мать, я заблудился нахуй. Вот. Все. Ну все, пора спать.
Wow, nice room.
Какая красота.
Mortimer sure doesn't do things halfway.
Конечно, блядь, пиздец, тут картин нахуй всякой хуйни.
Inferno by Dante.
Abandon
hope, all ye who enter here.
Lovely lectures Mortimer's giving to his guests. Very jolly.
Saturn devouring his son. Again? I saw the same theme in the hall. I wouldn't like to be his son.
Сатурн, пожирающий своего сына. Ну, пиздец, конечно, тут картина,
Saint
блядь.
Jerome and the Angel. Yet again, art with political undertones with an image of a saint hearing voices.
Склянка кармелитской воды. Позволяет сосредоточиться и не расходовать очки действия на применение следующего навыка. Можно хранить не более 5 сканок. Хорошо.
Carmelite water will give me a little reprieve.
Так, ну-ка. Я на балконе еще не посмотрел. Ебать, тут балкон. Тут закрыто. Тут перекрыто.
A ruble.
Рубль. Откуда здесь рубль, блядь? Что такое? А, сразу спать, что ли? Ёб твою мать, ты чё? Я еще не все посмотрел. Ну ладно. Хрен с ним. Пускай. Так, часть первого. Берегов. Приз получен. Спокойной ночи. Берегов Англии. Успех. Неудача. Я не смог уговорить пьяный передать мне письмо. Да, развилки. Я мог пойти за сэром. У меня могла состояться неожиданная встреча еще. Четыре очков навыков, значит, у меня есть. Так, ладно. Вот это я хочу. Вот так вот. И... вот так вот. Так, выбор манускрипта. Сейчас вы можете выбрать, какой манускрипт будет читать ваш персонаж. После выполнения задания прочтенный манускрипт принесет вам дополнительные очки навыков. Так, понятно. Да, наверное, вот это вот. Ну. Что происходит? Я же детектив, я должен читать всех людей как книжку.
Your turn? The servants are not very efficient.
Durocher can't be far away. They'll find her soon. Their search time is restricted, given that they must keep an eye on Adams.
I can take care of her, you know.
Yes. Well, in any case, I do thank you for bringing her to the island.
From what I've understood, the search of Durocher's room hasn't turned up any results.
Not yet, no. But we've put her son in there. Perhaps he'll find something.
That might come in handy.
Louis grows impatient at not yet having met the famous Lord Mortimer.
He will meet him tomorrow.
What What a pity to lose a knight at the start of the game. Are you waiting for someone?
A young French soldier.
During our game of chess?
Don't worry, Gregory. The game won't disappear. I'll have one of my men escort you back.
Don't trouble yourself. I know my way out.
Ah, good evening, gentlemen. Please forgive me for this late hour.
It is never too late, and we have much to discuss. One last move?
Наполеон, что ли, блядь? Ну, похож на него-то.
Don't worry. Our games always seem to end like this.
Or always start like this. Come, come. Take a seat, my friend.
Да, Наполеон.
A little nighttime stroll, Mr. President?
There's nothing like it for a good night's sleep.
Do not hesitate to ask a servant to show you back.
The corridors seem quite safe.
Peppermint, lime flower, and valerian. My miracle remedy when one can't get to sleep. A very good night to you, Mr. President.
Thank you. And to you too, sir.
Опять у него видения были.
I'm coming.
Dear Monsieur de Richet, please excuse me, but I am unable to join you at present.
Ключ с кольцом.
The incredulity of St. Thomas. Why is Caravaggio representing St. Thomas putting his finger in the wound? Thomas looks on, but doth devils the torture of Ixion, condemned by the gods to lose his mind because of his arrogance.
Я говорю, тут я не все еще собрал, блядь.
Inferno by Dante. Abandon hope, all ye who enter here. Lovely lectures Mortimer is giving to his guests. Very jolly.
Excuse me. Am I bothering you?
No, not in the least. Is something wrong?
I'm going to need your help. Do you remember the young lady we spoke of in the hall?
No.
Да, блядь, я успел.
What's her name again?
Elizabeth Adams. Well, she is the daughter of my friend, the Vice President, John Adams. But she is supposed to be dead.
Yeah, that's bizarre. Fair enough.
Good heavens. I was present at her funeral.
It is disturbing indeed.
Yes. I need to make sure it's her. That's where you come in. I want you to distract Elizabeth while I search her room. And perhaps get my hands on some important information. At least I hope so. Elizabeth is in the small salon. If you hurry, you can still catch her. I just need 10 minutes.
But if my vision is true, there are two men nearby discussing very important issues, and one of them looks much like Mortimer. Washington is very kind, but I came to this island for my mother, not for his ghost stories. Count on me, sir.
Ладно, я помогу.
Thank you, my friend. Keep Elizabeth downstairs as long as possible. She must not return to her room.
Trust me. According to Washington, Lady Adams is in the small salon. I better hurry.
Сын Лафайета. Так, и внизу, да, мне надо? Побежали.
Louis, you're straying from your objective.
Так я понял, что не сюда. Тут хули, блядь, запутаешься, пока ходишь. В смысле? Вниз, вот. Где они?
My son. Oh, you are a godsend.
What's the matter, Your Eminence?
I believe Miss Adams may be in danger.
What do you mean?
Do you hear that? She is being manhandled in this small salon.
By whom?
I don't know exactly. A thug, a Frenchman, it seems. By the cut of his cloth, I'd say he's a member of the French Revolutionary Government. You should do something, my son.
You're right. That sounds like it might be bad. Good lord, that's all I needed. How am I supposed to keep Adams busy now? Do you know if the man is armed?
No, I don't. I barely saw him.
If this thing starts to sound serious, call the servants for help.
I certainly will. Thank you, my son. May God watch over you.
Who do you think you are?
Поиск решения. Вы можете достичь цели разными способами. Тщательно обдумайте свое решение перед тем, как сделать выбор.
Me, sir.
If we were in France, I'd have sent you to the guillotine for what you just said.
Please, just let me go back to my room.
Hey, you! Stay out of it! This is none of your business. I'm gonna teach this little slut how to behave.
What the hell is going on?
Huh? I don't think you know who I am.
Stop. I beg you. I didn't mean to. Don't hit me, please, sir.
Shit. If I step in, Adams might just run back to her room. And if I do nothing, yes, Washington will have enough time to search, but this girl's gonna suffer. Damn it, what should I do?
Да, блядь, все равно...
Let her go! Huh? Stay out of it, boy!
Shit.
What are you playing at? I told you to mind your own business, boy! If you think you can side with this whore and then just walk away, you're out of your mind. Give me one good reason not to knock you down.
На нахуй.
That's the spirit. But it won't be enough. Don't think you're getting away with it that easily. I'm sick of all these toffs. If we were in Paris, I'd send you all to the guillotine. And on top of it all, a woman telling me how I ought to behave? I won't stand for it.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute.
What? Don't tell me you're gonna defend these harlots.
Women, right? They really do drive us crazy sometimes. I totally understand.
Yeah, and every time they open their mouths, it makes you want to slap them. I get the feeling you're trying to put one over on me. If that's the case, you're making a big mistake.
Sorry about that. Look, there's no point in us aggravating each other. Let's both just go our separate ways.
Don't move. We're not done yet. You wanted to be the knight in shining armor and save the damsel in distress. Let's see how brave you are.
Охуеть. Собеседник привел вас в смятение. Применение навыков стоит дороже. Выпейте флакон золотого эликсира, чтобы прийти в себя. Блять, а я и буду.
Listen, we barely know each other, and it seems everything went a bit too far. Let me apologize if I offended you in any way.
What's wrong? Someone cut your balls off?
I've watched you, and you're shaking. I'm betting you won't fire.
I'm not in the habit of beating Lord Mortimer's guest in his own salon. You got off easy this time, but don't try it again.
Получилось, да, выходит так? Приз получен, а судьи кто? Так, Адамс. Это. Ебать, тут какие все страшнючие. Я ебал рот, нахуй. Один страшнее другого. Так, ну ладно. Сейчас тут все подберу только. Покиньте, говорит, малую гостиницу. А если здесь медок лежит? Или...
These look like pages taken
вот.
from an ancient
Книжечки всякие, которые надо будет прочитать мне. Ну все, выходим, значит. Ну не помог я, ну не помог и не помог. Что сейчас этому Вашингтону? А что я должен был?
Did you get time to search the room?
Louis, I only needed 10 minutes. Imagine the scandal if she had found me.
What would you have done in my shoes? She was in the middle of an argument with some angry guy.
10 minutes. I didn't ask for the moon.
Nonetheless, you found what you were looking for, didn't you?
Not everything, but yes. Elizabeth is definitely the daughter of John Adams. We need more information.
You can always go back.
It's too late now.
Ну, бляха-муха. Ну и хуй на него. Не узнал и не узнал, блядь. Мне вот вообще по хуям, блядь. Флакон. Охуеть, блядь. Сел. Поясе сел. О, монетка. Ладно. Идем наверх. О, что здесь? Нет, ничего здесь, это надо наверх идти. Что вот это вот означает? Как вот мне вот это вот? Сейчас еще, блядь, найти надо свою комнату-то, ёб твою мать. Подожди, а может быть...
Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
Ладно, я тут все уже обыскал в прошлый раз.
Your Eminence?
I was worried about you, my son. How did it go with Miss Adams?
Yeah, don't worry about that anymore, Your Eminence. I had to step in, but everything's under control.
What an adventure, my son. I am relieved to hear it. You acted as a good Christian. In these troubled times, we need more men of your caliber.
It's nothing, Your Eminence. I did what I had to do. Well, you did the opposite.
Good. Well, thanks for the news. Have a good night.
Вот собака. И ушел. Так, ладно.
I'm exhausted. I better go to bed. I'll search my room tomorrow. If Mother stayed here right before me, you never know. And Mortimer had better show up.
Такие ужасные картины вокруг, и, блядь, спать возле них, это пиздец, конечно. Сходил за хлебушком, приз получен. Так. Развилки. Я не смог поговорить с мистером Вашингтоном о своей матушке. Раз. Я мог узнать больше о людях своего видения. Я мог узнать больше о том, что обо мне говорят. У меня могла состояться незапланированная запоминающаяся встреча. Так, я нашел видео. Ну хотя бы я ее нашел и не дал себя напугать. Но неудача у меня. Я не мог задержать ее. Не мог больше узнать о прошлом своей матушки и не подобрал талисман леди Адамс. Бляха-муха, там был талисман. Она же это уронила точно, блядь. Вот я дурак. Что так ярко-то? Там же талисман был. Ну я вообще растеряша, блядь.
In my vision yesterday, I saw that Mother had this room before me. I better search the room. Who knows? Maybe she left me something behind.
Так. Типа я вот это уже прочитал, да? Так, ладно. Ага, понятно. Пускай вот это будет.
I haven't even had time to unpack my cases.
Dear Monsieur de Richet, please excuse me.
Ну это я читал уже. Ля-ля тополя, блядь, всякая хуйня.
Nothing.
Ничего, ясен вышло, ничего. Так, тут ничего такого нет. Вот там картина.
The incredulity of St. Thomas. Why is Caravaggio representing St. Thomas putting his finger in the wound?
А сюда?
This room looks unoccupied.
Здесь никто не живет. Надо было зайти, раз никто не живет.
Priest's robe, crosses. Must be Piaggi's room.
Это комната этого, блядь, как его, священника, нахуй. Как его там зовут?
Thomas looks on, but doesn't touch.
А как это? Сделать-то мне? Типа вот можно же, да? Так. Да не ты.
Saint Francis of Assisi in ecstasy. Saturn devouring his son. Again? I saw the same theme in the hall. Nothing here. I wouldn't mind a nice, strong coffee, though. Oh, this bookcase is well stocked.
Oh, this book has been put back the wrong way round.
A Voyage Around the World. The travelogue of the explorer, Louis-Antoine de Bougainville. One of Mother's favorite books. What a coincidence. And I don't believe in coincidences. It's just too much. I don't know what's going on here, but if you felt threatened, I'll bet you'd leave a clue, wouldn't you, Mother?
Found it. A faint sign of the order, barely visible.
Mother, you undoubtedly must have hidden a clue in this book.
Let's see if I can find anything else in this room.
The paper's rougher around the writing.
The paper's moist here. Very light stain, barely visible.
And the smell reminds me of something. The paper's rougher around the writing.
The paper's moist here. Very light stain, barely visible.
And the smell reminds me of something.
А как, блядь, вот я не могу понять.
The paper's rougher around the writing.
Но так это он одно и то же. То же самое говорить. Мне что-то не хватает.
Paper's rougher around the writing.
The paper's moist here.
Это отрицательная херня. Я ее убрал, получается.
And the smell reminds me of something. Paper's rougher around the writing.
The paper's moist here. Very light stain, barely visible.
And the smell reminds me of something.
Все, уйди. Если ты не знаешь
Not far from solving the puzzle, I must keep searching.
Ответа, то не это.
Inferno by Dante. Abandon hope, all ye who enter here. Lovely lectures Mortimer's giving to his guests. Very jolly.
Look,
Markings on the floor.
Just a bit worn out. I was hoping to find something leading to a secret passage.
Так, выбор уже сделан. И что, типа, я ничего и не могу сделать, что ли, или что?
I'm not far from solving the puzzle. I must keep searching.
Я просто еще не до конца понял смысл игры. Может быть. О, еще что-то увидел.
There's a circle around the lock here. Must be the trunk Mortimer was talking about. The key should open it.
Ну и чё это такое?
There's a note. Effects of Sœur de Richer to be given to her son, Louis. I should probably take it.
All right. I've retrieved everything.
Saint Jerome and the Angel. Yet again, art with political undertones with an image of a saint hearing voices. A drachma.
Здесь ничего не сделать, да, я так понял?
The paper's rougher around the writing. The paper's moist here. Very light stain, barely visible. And the smell reminds me of something.
Навыки. Понятно.
I'm not far from solving the puzzle. I must keep searching.
Ну что, все. Я больше ничего не мог тут найти, получается. На балконе там ни хера нету. Это картина просто опять какая-то. Вот что-то.
Writing material.
И чё?
From what I see, no ink's ever been used on this quill. The smell reminds me of something. It smells like lemon. That's odd. Let's recap. My mother was in this room. I found a rare edition of her favorite book. She must have left something behind.
Так если лимоном пахнет, значит она написала лимоном.
She must have used the writing materials. The quill has been used, but not with regular ink.
Чтобы
a message using invisible
прочитать.
ink. I bet she used a lemon to leave a message.
Now, как невидимый чернила, но он тупой.
The message is illegible. I have to keep searching.
Чтобы проявить послание. Этот как его надо? Взять лампу. Нет, не лампу. Хер там, не лампу, блядь. Чернила. Не трогай чернила. Возьму на всякий случай, нахуй, пригодится.
Last Judgment. Why do I always get the most terrifying room?
Dear Monsieur de Richet,
I haven't even had time to unpack my cases. Inspiration of St. Matthew, or Matthew writing his gospel, dictated to him by voices. Nothing. The torture of Ixion, condemned by the gods to lose his mind because of his arrogance. A pound.
Монеты опять какие-то. Во, свечка, наконец-то. Не надо чернила, надо нагреть страницу свечой.
The heat reveals the message. Let's see what my mother wrote.
Where all eyes size you up, you must pass by the Gorgon. Gorgon was the name of Medusa in Greek mythology. On the other hand, where all eyes size you up, I don't get it. And judging by the number of paintings in the manor, could be anywhere. After that, she adds, beware hero. The beast always charges the best protected soldier. And that's its weakness.
What is my mother trying to tell me? Since you've gone to so much trouble, you must not have only found something important, but
you must have also felt like you were in great danger. Now I better hurry and find that damn Medusa.
Sir, dinner is served in the red salon.
Typical. I'm not hungry. Please give my apologies to all the guests.
Sir Holm requests your presence, sir.
Before going and looking for my Medusa.
Tell him I'll be there in a minute.
If I get a chance, I may have to take a little tour through the rooms of the other guests.
Сейчас загляну в комнату других гостей, нахуй. Это кто?
President George Washington.
Вашингтон.
Let no one disturb me. I'm busy.
Too bad. I'll see him later.
Так, зайду позже.
That's the door to Elizabeth's room.
Вот, Элизабет.
For God's sakes, what happened in here?
О, нифига себе. Пентаграмма, блядь.
A chest with a half-circle pattern.
Так, у меня такого ключа нету. Так, быстрее, пока меня...
Great, honey. Looks like I found a box containing some kind of white crystals. Well, let's see what it tastes like.
Нахуя ты их жрешь? Нет, я нечаянно нажал. Фу.
I really need to stop tasting everything I find now.
Во-во, вот именно, блядь. Не тащи в рот, что попало. Измождение. Вы столкнулись с устойчивостью. Одно очко действий заблокировано. Блядь. Сука. Нехуй было, блядь.
My dear Elizabeth, I'm writing to inform you of some unfortunate news. We won't be able to meet as planned on the first Sunday of May. I've been told that you're no better, and unfortunately.
Понятно.
A pound.
Так. Ну давай уже иди, там чё запинаешься? Мне
June
надо
11th,
все обыскать.
1791. My dear Elizabeth, your last letter gave me much cause for concern. August 24th, 1792. Elizabeth, I am driven to despair and doubt there is any...
Сестра. Это тоже от сестры. Кольцо с 5 кольцами.
30 November, 1791.
Да, это тоже от сестры.
August 24th.
Это от сестры, да?
Looks like I found a box containing some kind of white crystals.
Чё, типа, все, я все обыскал уже? На балкон. Бля, нельзя. Вроде все. Чё же я не подобрал-то ту фигню-то тогда?
A chest with a half-circle pattern.
Ну. А, нет ключа у меня. Ну все, уходим. Нажмись, блядь, ты чё не нажимаешься? Так, бежим дальше, да. А, это Вашингтон, я здесь был. Это к этой заходил только что. Дальше идем. Бля, нельзя, да? Тут тоже нельзя. Плохо. Что нельзя?
That must be the door to the room of the soldier I saw in my vision.
Блять, взломать нельзя, у меня хитрости мало еще. Хитрости я не хитрый нихуя никакой.
Might be better to take a different stairway. Might be better to take a different stairway.
Вот, сука, подметает, ходит. Ну все, я все обходил, все обошел, что мог. Да. Да ёб твою мать. Какие длинные коридоры. Ну, нажмись. Нельзя? Почему нельзя? А покуда спускаться-то? Ну я что-то пиздец весь заблудился уже нахуй. Наконец-то. Нихуя у тебя глаза.
Excuse me, Monsieur de Richet. I really need to talk to you.
Is this about last night?
No, that was just a misunderstanding. I'm sure it was a little bit my fault too.
There's no excuse for that man's horrible behavior. You ought to tell Sir Home.
Look, the only thing that I care about is that I've lost something precious. I'm not worried about Jacques Peru. You're her son. Sarah de Richet's son.
Yes, why?
Last night, I found out that your mother was on the island. What are you doing here?
Excuse me, but speaking frankly, why would you care?
I know your mother very well.
Really?
Yes, I have been in your mother's care ever since I was born.
She nursed you?
Oh, I wouldn't say nursed. No. I remember her stare, cold as ice. Her sadistic hands pressing over my mouth to silence me while I screamed in pain. I remember her knees, too. She held me down with them while she cut and burned scars into me.
Hold on a minute. What do you mean?
You can ask her when you see her.
Huh, she's getting more and more agitated. And next you're gonna tell me my mother's also responsible for that scar on your head?
My heart stopped twice during the operation. I lost my memory for 6 months. You obviously have no idea of the abuse your mother inflicted on me.
Wait. There must be some kind of mistake.
My only mistake was ever meeting your mother.
She's able to describe every detail without hesitation or getting flustered. It's becoming difficult not to believe the poor girl.
Look, I've got to go.
Wait. I need to know more about you and my mother. Why did she put you through all of that? There must be some reason for what she did.
What's the point of rubbing salt in the wounds?
You're right. I don't want this conversation to turn into an interrogation. You've suffered enough already. I respect your silence. Please excuse me.
Well, thank you.
Так.
I know your little game. You're no different from the rest of them. You couldn't give a damn about me. The only thing you're interested in is finding out about your mother.
Don't say that. Not everyone wants to use you. Some people care about you, don't they? Haven't you got a sister?
Yes.
I'm sure she loves you with all her heart.
She's the only one who cares about me.
Потому что там были
I
письма
would
от
have put
ее
an end to it
сестры.
all by now if it weren't for her. Since you insist, I'll tell you how I met your mother.
Thanks for trusting me.
You see, before I was born, my mother often suffered from hallucinations and fits of anger. Soon people could barely recognize her. She became a completely different person. So my father spent an enormous amount of money paying for the best doctors, but none of them were able to cure her. The last resort was to call a priest.
So, is that what your father did?
No. He went to an expert in the occult.
Ah, my mother.
Her reputation already extended beyond our borders. My mother's fits stopped at my birth, and Sarah de Richet concluded that the evil had passed into me. Not only did it encourage her to stay, but she took the opportunity to advise my father to separate me from the rest of my family. That's how I was declared stillborn. My fate was decided that very day.
It would coincide with my mother's frequent trips to America.
I had my first fit when I was 3. That's when your mother began her experiments to rid me of the evil inside.
I understand how you feel, but I know my mother. I'm sure she had her reasons, even if it seems difficult to believe.
Everything she put me through was all for nothing. My whole life was ruined for nothing.
So what brings you here then?
My father used to know Sir Holm. He offered to introduce me to the world's leading authority in the occult.
Lord Mortimer.
He was my last hope. Until I found out he had also invited your mother.
It's got to be a coincidence. I don't believe for a second she's coming for you.
You can't change my mind about this, Louis. My days are numbered, and I know it.
С фингалом, блядь, ходит такая.
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
As I was unable to bring my personal effects with me, I was wondering if you could find me a few items.
Of course, sir. What would you require?
Вот это, что ли, золотой эликсир, блядь, или чё?
You wouldn't have a little golden elixir I could use, would you?
Oh, unfortunately, sir, I have orders not to give any of that medicine to any of Lord Mortimer's guests. Some guests are here to follow a very strict treatment. Mixing or combining certain substances would be dangerous for sir.
That's fine. I have no intention of swallowing this remedy. You see, I generally use it to put the shine back on my shoes. But maybe you'd rather I ask permission from Lord Mortimer. Where is he? I'd like to tell him about my shoe problem.
Sir need do nothing of the sort. There is no reason to disturb Lord Mortimer with this small matter.
As you wish.
Here you are, sir. I hope sir will have enough with one bottle, as I haven't any more.
Oh, I'll make do. It's good of you to get this much.
May I do anything else for sir?
What's that book you're hiding in your jacket?
The Sorrows of Young Werther by Goethe, sir. And I am not hiding it.
Hand it to me, please.
It is damaged, sir. I would never dare lend sir a book in such a pitiful state, sir. I took it to restore.
Ну и ладно. Вот так вот. Так, в красную гостиную на первом этаже. Красная гостиная — это вот там, что ли? Ну, скорее всего, да. Ой.
Dear friends, I bid you welcome. I hope the night was not too short. Your Eminence, Duchess, Monsieur de Richet, allow me to introduce our new guests. They arrived during the night. Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs and close aide of Frederick William II, King of Prussia. Napoleon Bonaparte, Lieutenant of the French Revolutionary Army. And Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. Unfortunately, my friends, Lord Mortimer will not be joining us this morning, but he should be with us later. So, let us begin.
What is Mortimer playing at? He tells me to come urgently and he sends no one to meet me?
Thank you again for the wine, Your Eminence. It is served every day at the king's table.
I am delighted to hear it.
Volner and Piaggi seem to be getting along well.
My dear Johann, how are you?
Glad to make landfall at last. And yourself?
Very well.
And your husband?
He's poorly. The French Revolution gives him terrible headaches.
Oh, I understand. I shall feel better too, as soon as the situation is settled.
If by chance the French crisis is emulated in Berlin, there will always be a refuge for you in London, my dear.
Your offer does you honor, Emily. But London is much closer to Paris than Berlin. Beware. The French are capable of sailing up the Thames straight to the Houses of Parliament.
Oh, my friend, I am shaking in my clogs.
Is the wine to your liking?
Very much so, Sir Gregory. Such complexity. Typically French. The Sauterne, isn't it?
Absolutely.
If I'm not mistaken, this is not Lord Mortimer's favourite wine. It is yours.
In his absence, I have taken the liberty of making a slight deviation from the rule, but I count on your discretion.
Don't worry, I appreciate the same grape varieties as you. I remember the last time we tasted that nectar here at this table. The finest minds of the century were present.
And the last time we drank it, the orphanage in Bloomsbury was still in ruins.
Would you repeat that?
Oh, well, I put some small effort into the works. The orphanage reopened just before Christmas. The bedrooms, washrooms, and the classrooms had all been refurbished.
I don't know what to say. You have given the girls a wonderful Christmas gift. Thank you.
I made a promise. Now it is done.
Успел или не успел? Блять, не успел.
Is everything all right?
Yes, thank you. I had a moment of absence, but here I am again.
Show us your teeth.
What do you think of Volner?
The Prussian king is his puppet.
I find it hard to believe the King of Prussia is so weak.
Be careful. Volner is as influential as he is dangerous.
You seem to know each other well.
We used to work together.
I see.
Oh dear.
Have you any information on this Napoleon?
Yes, I heard the news. What a story.
He's certainly well connected and in high places.
Surprising. No one appears to know him.
No one knows me, and yet here I am.
Quite so.
Monsieur de Richet, it would seem we have common interests. Could we speak in private, please?
С Наполеоном, блядь, пошел разговаривать. Заебись.
It is remarkable.
Lord Mortimer and the Golden Order, through your mother, have concluded a financial agreement.
Stay composed, Louis. I'm listening.
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother. You must know that I am deeply sorry about their disappearance, but I must validate the deal urgently if I want to be able to organize things properly.
I haven't seen Lord Mortimer yet. I'm afraid I'll be unable to answer your questions.
He assured me that you could replace your mother during her absence.
I appreciate his confidence, but still, this is a bit hasty. But please continue.
Of course, but I need to know if I can count you among my allies.
Well, of course.
And for that, I have a little question for you. The agreement stipulates an aid of 50,000 louis d'or for 200 cannon.
Surely such an amount will buy twice as many cannons. Don't try to pull a fast one on me. We're both young, but we are not naive.
Please don't be offended. I just wanted to make sure you knew what you were talking about. And I am reassured. I have one last question I would like to pose to you. We don't know each other yet, you and I. And I need to make sure that we both share the same vision for the future of France. Given the hard times that have befallen our beautiful country, what do you think it would take to restore its luster?
I don't know how to remedy the situation without re-establishing a solid monarchy.
And what would we stand to gain by this?
We've tried a republic, but it is clear that with the situation we're in now, that it's not working. We ought to return
Что-то я не то, по-моему, нажал, блядь.
That makes no sense at all, my friend. The monarchy is a privileged caste who have forever built their prestige by crushing and controlling the people.
The revolution was a good thing, but it gave birth to a monster. We must overthrow the new system in place.
Ah, you are right. Monsieur de Richet, I am reassured. I am very happy to have met you.
Ну, слава богу.
Lord Mortimer was right to put his trust in you. I hope to work with you in the very near future. I would like to thank you for your support by offering you this humble little gift.
Reflections on the revolution in France.
Mr. Bonaparte, I thank you for this gesture, and please know that I, too, am delighted to have met you.
Ну вот и допизделся с Наполеоном, блядь.
My friends, I would like to say a few words, please. I would like to thank Lord Mortimer, and you, Sir Holm, for bringing us all together here. Those of us for whom it is not the first time here, like me, are all trembling in sweet anticipation of the arrival of our host. For the rest, I would like to reassure you that Lord Mortimer always has a few surprising projects to propose. But I can assure you that each and every one of us has always benefited from them. The last time I came to this place, Lord Mortimer offered to help me in my electoral campaign for the presidency of the United States. And it is imminently clear that his support was an invaluable aid to us. We are here among like-minded people. So let us put aside the conflicts in which some of our nations find themselves at present. So I raise my glass in honor of you all, my new and old friends.
I trust you shall not be disappointed, Mr. Washington.
Ебать, он страшный все.
Right, we shall meet again tomorrow. All the guests will be present, as well as Lord Mortimer, I hope. Until then, I trust you will find plenty to keep you amused.
Так. Сильные мира сего. Вино и пушки. Не было, слава богу. Я мог обыскать комнату Наполеона. Ёбаный в рот. Ну, уже получше все равно. Так. У меня 8 очков, ёб твою мать, нихуя себе. Когда вот это вот добьем до конца. Это тоже нахуй. Так. Допрос. Убеждение. Этикет. Ну все. Какая длинная глава.
All right, let's recap. Before dinner, I was going to investigate my mother's message. I've got to find the place where all eyes size you up.
Так. Французскую революцию почитаю. Так, ну это что-то слишком длинная оказалась первая глава. Думаю, можно на сегодня пока закончить. Слушай, интересно. Я не думал, что будет так интересно. Но наоборот, как-то не очень такое. Особенно вот эти вот страшные рожи все. Оказалось даже вполне себе ничего. Так, сохранить игру. Так что сохраняем игру и идем в основное меню. Так, части. Ну-ка, надо посмотреть. Ага. Тут можно, скорее всего, что еще и поиграть, как бы что-то, да, или нет? Нет, слишком долго. Ладно. Продолжение, скорее всего, будет завтра. Мне интересно, чем тут закончится. Так, загружаем материалы. Ой, не то нажал. Назад сделайся. Вот. Мне интересно, что тут еще будет впереди. Но это точно не сегодня. Уже поздно. Так что это все можно будет посмотреть завтра. До встречи, до завтра. Получается так. Всем пока и спокойной ночи.